right, here we go.
All righty.
Hello, and welcome to the Frivolous and Frugal Knitting Podcast. We are two sisters and our beautiful niece who share our fondness for knitting, the things that we create, and the love we have for the knitting community. And we do it all with a little twist of both the frivolous and the frugal. I am Frivolous Dawn, and in our family's birth order, I am the fourth of 8 children.
Go ahead, Miss Brianna.
I was trying to remember the number. I'm the daughter of number 7 in their family's birth order. I don't know why I want to say 5 every single time.
Oh no, there are no promotions in our family. You are what you are.
Yeah.
And hello, I am Frugal Miss Penny. In our birth order, I am the oldest. And on behalf of not only the 3 of us, but our sister, Faithful Nikki, who is number 3 in the birth order, we'd like to welcome you to Frivolous and Frugal with a hearty shout out to our returning viewers. We're so thankful that you make time to come and knit with us. And we hope that you will glean a nugget or two from this episode's, I'm going to say treasures, because we've all learned something. And for those of you who are watching for the first time, welcome. We have no idea how you found us, but we're glad you did. And one of the main purposes of our episode is to share what we've learned as we have knit. And so I'm sure you'll glean a nugget or two from us as well. So grab your knitting, your favorite note-taking device, and your sense of humor for episode 74 of the Frivolous and Frugal Knitting Podcast. Take it away, Dawn.
All right, Miss Brianna, what are you wearing?
I am wearing Audrey's cardigan. So you've seen it before, but it's my go-to, especially when it's cold. So just a reminder, Audrey's cardigan is a pattern by Elizabeth Smith, and it's done on a US size 10, and we use the Berroco chunky. I did gray, and Aunt Penny did a navy color. It was an Auntie's middle one.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm wearing.
Very good. Oh, here's what I'm wearing.
Oh.
Those, you could make earrings out of those, Dawn. I just thought about that.
I think that would be bougie. Okay, let the record reflect. I used bougie in a sentence. Okay. Look at these. I kind of forget about them. I need to wear them more often. These are the Selbu Mittens. It's a pattern on Ravelry by Skeindeer Knits. I believe I'm sure it's a paid for pattern. She has individual patterns, or you can buy books of her Selbu Mittens. I initially started using a Lopi yarn with these, but they were big enough to fit a giant. So this is, I have to get this right, Millpost Merino DK, right? Mm-hmm. And really, really soft yarn. That's an Australian dyer. And it's a super fine DK. And when I say that, I have to chuckle because the guys who make this yarn are super fine as well. They are Australian.
Dawn, yeah. Back on topic. Yoo-hoo, come back to the mittens.
So I followed the pattern US 4 and a US 6. I just love like the little design on the thumb. That Selbu pattern is beautiful. I don't know why I don't knit more of these. I should. And of course I like the little longer cuff too, because then if I'm in my coat, I don't feel that air coming in there. On the frugalometer, I would have called the pattern a 2 and the yarn a Superfine 3. I have no idea what I paid because it was an Australian, so whatever, So I would say it was probably 3. They were on Fruity Knitting and they offered a discount to Fruity Knitting viewers. So I think it was one of those deals where you got like free shipping or something like that. So very good. That's what is. I'm not actually going to wear it now. I'm a little flushed.
We'll give you time to cool down, Dawn.
Thank you. What's your
I am wearing my Tenacity shawl, and as many of you know, this was completed just a bit ago, but our fireplace is on and I'm right in front of the fireplace, so I couldn't wear a sweater or anything. This is a pattern by Cold Comfort Knits, and for those of you who haven't seen it up front, it is a beautiful lace pattern. I knit this in Valley Charlemont in the Charlemont base, and it is raspberry rose. I knit it on a size 2, and on the Frugalometer, it earns $4 signs for fiber, and it earns 3 for the pattern. I might even go 4 for the pattern. I haven't decided yet. Anyway, really like it. There's a whole lot more to it than what I showed you, but we'll talk about that in just a little bit.
Very good. And my little mannequin behind me is wearing Zagtastic. This is a shawl I did earlier this year. It's a pattern by Melanie Berg. It is in a DK weight. I used Rowan Soft Alpaca DK. Simply black and simply white were the colorways. If you've not done mosaic knitting or the use of slip stitches, it is a nice pattern to do that. Knit on a US 6 and 7, and the Frugalometer, I better look to see what I gave it. I gave the pattern $2 signs, and I gave the yarn $3 signs. It is a long crescent, and you know, I wore it the other day, and again, I love that length. I'd have to look it up. I'm sure it goes at least 100 inches. It was just because it's not really deep. It just fits nice around your neck this time of the year if you just want something when it's cold, as winter has hit Wisconsin. So anything around my neck if you're going outside is nice. So yeah, as you guys know, I love Melanie Berg. So I love that.
We
show.
know you do.
Yeah, I love that show. All right, let's transition to what is on your needles. Do you want to start, Penny?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to do this
Oh.
today. What is on your needles?
Wow.
We just need a blast from the past, you know, every once in a while. I am working on another Arctic Coast cardigan, and this is a pattern by Gabrielle Danskknit. It's, I think, Danskknit. And here is the front of the cardigan. So I have the front's done, it's neck down. I am just about ready to bind off the cuff on the first sleeve, and then I will go to the other sleeve. I am knitting this in Berroco Ultra Wool DK in the cracked pepper, which is my main trim color. It is the color that is in every one of my granddaughter's sweaters. So it's the trim color. And then this is marine blue, and I got to show you all. Look at that beautiful depth in that dark blue. That's a beautiful blue, as well as the light blue. And I'm going to say even a bit tonal. So I really like the colors. And as in the previous sweater, I gave this pattern a $2 sign, and I gave the fiber a $3 sign. And I'm knitting it on sizes 5 and 6 US.
That striping pattern is really striking when you held it up like that.
Well, I got to say though, Dawn, I have to give you credit, because as you'll see in the one that's finished, one project that I finished, I went by the pattern's instructions. And because my granddaughter wanted these 2 colors, if I'd have done that, there would not have been enough contrast between this darker marine blue, as you can see in the cuff.
Oh, yeah.
There's not a lot of contrast. So if I would have followed the pattern, we wouldn't have gotten the same effect. And you're the one who suggested just doing the blues. So that's what I did, and just doing the trim. So thanks for that idea. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Kind of forgot about that discussion.
Yeah.
All right.
So go ahead.
I was going to ask Brianna what's on her needles.
What's on my needles has been on my needles for a long time. But I have Vertices Unite, and it's kind of hard to see because I'm doing my border, but you can see section 1, section 2, and section 3, and then 4 and 5. Let's see, and then 6.
Gosh, I love all of those.
It's all crunched up, but I've loved this project. So this is Vertices Unite by Stephen West, and there's 5 colors. The 2 whites, the yellow, and the brown are, let's see, they are Barnyard knits, and they were a gift. And then Direful yarns is something that we bought in Elgin Knitwork at the mini meetup, and that's this greenish blue, and I loved how it fits in there. So shout out to those ladies who helped me pick it. And so right now I'm working on the border. I'm just knitting around right now. I haven't started the I-card bind down, but I decided to do the dark brown because I think that will tie the colors in together nicely. But yes, that's what I'm working on right now. I realized that I needed to get my app together because I wanted to give it as a Christmas gift. And so maybe a month ago, I was like on section 3 and just moseying along. And I was like, oh my goodness, I need to prioritize this. So it's coming along nicely. And I've loved the construction, and all of the pattern has been really, really clear and helpful. So in all, good experience.
Very good. You get really good at I-cord bind off.
Yeah, I've never done one, so crash course.
Yeah, you will be doing it for miles and miles. Well,
yeah.
On the Stephen West theme, what I was hoping to be done with did not happen, but I will show you what I'm working on. I continue to work on Quadrangle Spires. That is a long rectangle shawl, again, using a lot of slip stitches from Stephen West. I am just about done. Hopefully we'll have it done by the end of the year. There's my middle quadrangle.
That is just beautiful.
And if I go this way, I'm just starting to do the bind off now on this end. And then it goes, I have 40 more rows to go on this end. So yeah, I really like it. The yarn that I used, I bought at Elgin Knitworks too. It is Stone Barn Fibers, Transitions, and the colorway is Calypso. Here's an example of how it came. So they were 150 gram skeins and they had 2 of them. So I've just been using these. I really like this yarn. Now, let's see if I can show. My middle color, or what they're calling the main color, is this darker gray. Cascade Heritage Sock in the forged iron colorway. So you needed 300 grams of that, and then 300 grams of the gradient. So I gave the whole thing is knit on a US size 4, which is pretty typical of a Stephen West. And the frugalometer, I gave the pattern a 2 and the yarn a 3. I really think with 40 rows left, I'll be able to get it done. So it's off my needles by the end of the year. I will love it. I'll be interested to see its final blocking. I don't know if it'll go quite 100 inches, but it is very wide, as you could see. So that'll be interesting to wear that, because that creates a lot of bulk. So I don't know whether I'll wear it more as a shawl or maybe something to throw over my shoulders, like when I'm knitting, just to kind of keep me warm. So, and of course, I think he's brilliant. And this is just yet another example of his. So that is what's on my needles. And I'm going to guess you're monogamous. Yes.
I am still monogamous. So Miss Brianna, what's on your needles?
I do have another project, and this one is a Christmas gift, and that's why so much progress has been made. But I started knitting the Musselburgh hat. And I went to my local knit shop here, and it's in Galena, Illinois, which is about an hour away from me, but it's the closest knit shop I have. And it's called A Darkness Lovely is the one half of the store. And then the other half of the store that has the knitting things is the Stitching Hour or something like that.
Wow.
And the Galena kind of has like a spooky haunted theme. And so it's a kind of spooky haunted knitting store. But they have a lot of indie dyed yarn, and the yarn that they showcase is different every time I go in there. And so I never know what I'm quite getting myself into when I go. But they had sour balls this time. And so that's what I'm knitting with, is a red sour ball. And I'm knitting it on a size, let's see, I think it's a size 2.5. But I am just loving all of these colors. I've never knit a Zower ball, just straight stockinette like this and in the round. I didn't know it was striped. I don't know what I thought it was, but I didn't know it was striped. But yeah, I am just loving it.
I am too.
It just reminds me of like all the colors in like fire and, fall. And
Absolutely. Pretty.
And
pretty
it's a gift for a guy. And at first I was like, there's pink in there. Is it gonna be too pink? But I think no, it's like mostly oranges and reds and grays.
Yeah.
So all good. And I'm doing the extra large size. I know Aunt Dawn, you did the medium and you thought it was a little snug. And so I just keep trying this on my head. And it is a little roomy, but it's still only one layer thick right now. Once it's doubled and then quadrupled over the ears, I think it'll snug up a little bit, or at least just be bulky enough to stay put. So yes, that's the other thing I'm doing.
For the extra large, how many inches do you have to go?
Ooh.
In the straight stockinette? I bet you're going to go 20 or so, huh?
Yep. I was thinking 23.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Use all the yarn you have.
Yeah, I think it'll take out the bulk of my yarn.
Yeah.
And I want it to fold up like what you said before about yours. I want it to fold up all the way over your ears. I don't want it to be a narrow brim. So
I wish I'd have done mine just maybe another inch or two, and I would have had the yarn. I don't know what I was thinking.
Oh, but I loved the increase, and I'm sure the decrease will be the same way. But it's just so, I don't know, symmetrical and geometric, I guess.
Yeah, look at that.
It's pointy right now, but I thought it was just a really clean increase.
I don't know if I've seen it in a Zower ball. That is fantastic.
Yeah, I never would have picked it out, but I went yarn shopping with this person and they were picking out the yarn that they liked. They know nothing about yarn. And so they picked up this one. I was like, actually, I think this could work. So we'll try it.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Well, Dawn, what else is on your needles?
The only other thing to share is my update on Venezia. Venezia is a pattern by Joji Locatelli. It is another long, thinner, it's not quite a crescent, but it's like a super elongated diamond, if you will. I am using Bamboo Sock by Kiley Yarns. That's Joanne from Magpie's Cottage in Sheboygan. She's an indie dyer. So,
oh, Dawn.
So I think the marker is where I was last time.
What? Have you slept since last time?
I have, yes.
My goodness.
3 times. No. Now, it's only meant to be a one skein wonder, but I wanted it a little longer. So I just kept doing the increases, and maybe about right here, I hit about the 50-inch mark. So now I'm just starting the decreases. It will take me about 150 grams instead of the 100 grams. And you can really see on here how tonal it is. And if I had to guess, I changed yarn. It's about right there, don't you think?
I do.
Yeah, you can kind of see that. But yeah, I love this little lace pattern. The lace pattern stays the same, and then just the middle part either increases or decreases. So again, one of those things I hope to have off my needles. I don't know if I should bring that in just a little closer.
Yeah, would you please, so we can see it? Oh, very simple but delicate.
Yeah, I like it.
I do too, Dawn. Again, Miss Joji is just such a wonderful designer.
Yeah, this is, she said once when she was on her podcast with her mama that her mom wanted her to do more like this, that this was one of her favorite patterns.
Oh.
I see that her and Vera Bacamale's book just came out, her annual interpretations. And Penny, you should look, there's a cardigan in there.
It's already favorited in my Ravelry.
Yeah, when I saw that, I thought, oh, Penny will love this. So
yes.
Yeah. So now the other thing that was on my needles last time that I showed, it was the Colormatic cowl by Knit Pearl Hunter that we saw the obvious mistake. All I've done is frogged to that mistake, and I've not knit on that at all. So there's no reason to show that. Now I'm feeling a little squirrel. I should finish telling you about Hohi's pattern. It is knit on a US 7. I gave the pattern a $2 sign and I gave the yarn a $1. It was a gift from Miss Joanne. So,
Oh,
yeah.
that was very kind of her.
Yeah, this will be interesting blocked out because can you see it looks like my tension's a little wonky. You know how you kind of see some like holes and stuff. So I wonder.
Oh, yeah, blocking, Dawn.
Yeah,
Blocking does it.
Agreed. But when I was holding it up, it's like, please don't let there be another mistake. You should go back and watch the last podcast. When you see the error in my cowl, but you don't say anything.
Can you tell that I knew? Oh, don't tell me that, Dawn, because I would never want to hurt your feelings.
Oh, no, but you only know, if that makes sense, right? So
Okay.
when I told somebody about it, they said, oh, go back and watch Penny's face when she is looking at it and she sees the mistake. So and I said, oh, she's so sweet. She never says anything.
Well, no, because I don't want to be critical and I don't always trust what I see because of
Yeah.
optical illusions with geometric designs.
And that definitely is a geometric, and you probably could have got away with not fixing it, but that's a shop model. So I am not going to think I can get away with it because somebody will see it and I would feel really badly if I didn't fix it. So, and that would be the last thing that I'm at least hoping to get off my needles by the end of the year. So that's kind of one of my goals.
Well, thank goodness the end of the semester is not far off and you'll
Yeah.
have some knitting time.
I agree. So
At least I hope so.
one of my goals was to try to get everything off the needles by the end of the year, but I think I'll get close. I don't know if I'll get everything done.
Well, on behalf of Miss Brianna and I, at least you have goals. We are like, whatever happens.
I think I should just call them suggestions.
Oh, no. You are much better at planning and reaching and attaining goals than I have ever been or will be.
Yeah, there are times where I am, and there are other times where it's like, oh, that another pattern came out,
Mhm.
So, now I think you still have something else on your needles, don't you, Brianna?
I do. That was a light roast if I've ever heard one. Yes, I still have Tenacity on my needles. And if you want to look really closely at my latest month marker, it is the same.
Oh,
It is the same. It's June. It's the same as the one that was on there at the mini meetup. So you guys haven't missed much.
We should have you line those up.
Being honest and not fudging. Yeah, just put all the rest of them right there.
I am. I'm going to line them all up on that row. The whole mini meetup, I was saying, I just need to knit like 2 rows and I can put July on there. Yeah, no, they're just going to be all in a row.
That is hilarious, Miss
I'll be an
Brianna.
inspiration to you all. Oh my goodness. I'm going to get fired. That's what's going to happen. They're going to have to find another F word to call me or something. With I was thinking of the word failing, just to clear the record, but
No, fearless. You fearlessly were honest with us. You
That's
didn't
Sure.
make an
Okay.
excuse or put blame on anything. So
Right,
you were
right.
still fearless.
this is how I know that you love me.
We do.
So yes, so this is my Tenacity, and you both have finished yours. So you really have displayed your tenacity this year. Speaking about goals, my one goal for this year was to finish Tenacity.
Well, just cross out 2021 and write 2022. I've seen ladies do that with their goal list. It's so funny.
That's why I write my goals in pencil.
Right.
I don't write them in pen. Why would I do that?
So I can see this paper, 2017 crossed out, 2018 crossed out, 2019. It's all fun, right? Who cares?
You're exactly right. Who cares? In the scope of eternity, does it matter?
It does not. It does
No.
not. Well, I will show my tenacity because it is off the needles.
Yay.
Now, just when I say I don't block aggressive, wait till you see, and then all 3 of us need to show ours because this will be a lesson for, oh, before I forget, that's what's left.
Dawn, you
Oh my
rock, girl. That is great yarn chicken. Look at you.
Oh, yeah, that is good. Okay.
And for the record, that's a little taint of being frugal, just so you know.
Yes.
You've given
Okay.
us a little hint of that.
That's my annual contribution to the frugal part of this podcast. Okay, now here's the pattern, called for 500 grams. I did not. I thought I had 500 and I waited. It's 400. So I have a skein mysteriously somewhere. I don't want to look too hard because I'm not adding anymore. Okay. All right, you guys.
Come on.
There is a difference in gauge.
Hold yours up, Miss Brianna.
Oh, I knit so tight.
Oops.
And Penny, yours is blocked and look at the difference.
I like that.
Wow, look at this. This is delightfulness times 3.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh,
And they
that
all
should,
look so different.
that should be our episode name. Delightfulness times 3.
Well, there you go. Until they start hearing us. Okay. Miss Brianna, let me tell you though, you and I have a much tighter gauge than Aunt Dawn. And
Yeah.
I did block mine, Dawn, a little bit on width.
Yeah.
Not much. I
you-
need to open up the lace. Mhm.
Did you do that, Aunt Dawn? Did you
I
block for
did.
width?
I wasn't gonna, this is crazy. I realized pretty soon after I got it wet that I wasn't gonna have enough blocking mats. So I only wanted to go 2 wide. So this is 24, just short of 24 inches. What do you think yours is? Any idea?
I think mine is 17 inches.
Oh,
Let me measure it here.
okay. Well, I guess I literally no blocking wires. I didn't use my weed whacker cord. I literally laid flat and then pinned. So
17.
17 and I'm 24.
So your gauge is just much looser than ours
Well,
because literally you and I used almost the same amount of fiber. So finish telling the rest of your story.
and I'm on a 1.5.
There you go. And I'm on a 2.
I know. Okay. So you know me, I want 100 inches. I don't know why I'm obsessed with this 100 inches. So please, when Penny and I were together at Thanksgiving and Brianna, we put our tenacities together. And mine, I wasn't finished knitting yet, but mine was just a couple inches shorter than yours. So you were like 96 inches. I was sure I was going to get 100. Okay, here we go.
Oh my.
Guys, this is
goodness.
132 inches. It's 11 feet long at 400 grams. Could you imagine if I did 500? So even if I go in half, Brianna, this is taller than you. So
The
Oh, that
roasting.
is huge. 132 inches.
and I didn't use
Row for your driveway. What?
I didn't use blocking wires. Can you imagine if I tortured it? Oh, so
Oh
yes.
my goodness.
The shawl that never ends. I absolutely love it, and I'm sure I'll get lots of use out of it. This will be something like how I wear it, I'm sure.
I will say though, Dawn, your lace opens up much more than mine does.
Could I borrow yours and block it for you?
No,
My goodness.
don't want my yarn to squeal. I want it to be content.
I was so proud of this one that I didn't block it aggressively, but
I know.
I did. Oh, so both Brianna and I used Schockmeyer Regia Premium Silk. Mine was in the Selbu or silver blah, which I assume means silver blue.
Mhm.
So now, just a quick reminder for everybody. We ended up dealing with the designer because I was having trouble getting gauge, and it was her recommendation that I drop down some stitches and that I drop down needle sizes. So,
So yours doesn't have the cast on number that mine does.
no,
No.
30 less stitches.
30 less stitches and you have 24 inches.
In a size smaller. Now, let's just do let's take this information and extrapolate it to maybe why I don't knit garments.
Well, no, because I have a hunch that after our next project, which we'll probably talk about on the next episode, you are going to master this. You are going to master this gauge.
or I will be knitting bathrobes. Who wouldn't want a wool bathrobe? Okay, yeah.
There you go.
So this is yeah, 400.
I have a question though. One thing I wanted to ask is, did that yarn plump up at all and soften at all once you washed it?
It did not plump. It is softer, but you know, just for a year's worth of coming in and out of a garment bag, it is starting to pill. So don't you think for Christmas I need a gleaner?
I think so too. Do I
Okay.
need to send a text message?
Oh no, I ordered it and put it from Austin to me from Austin. Yeah.
Okay, otherwise I could text message my dear brother-in-law.
Yeah, you could, and he would gladly do that, but I figured I would just order it and, you know, say it was from them.
Okay.
So yes, this was our year-long knit along. It is done. Would I cast it on again? I would not cast it on today. I would need a break. I do like the idea of a longer project though that came over time, because it really was no stress. Now remember, Miss Renee did this with us. She finished months before all of us, and I should have learned. Hers was 76 inches, I think she said, and it blocked to 100. So that should have been my clue. So if I ever do find the other skein of this, I will do something else with it. No, I haven't looked really hard.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I did not want, I was ready to be done. So thank you, Cold Comfort Knits, a brilliant design. And thank you to everybody who supported us along the way. And we'll continue supporting you, Miss Brianna.
Absolutely.
We'll just make it a 2-year knit along.
Yes.
Yeah.
May I ask a teacher type question very quickly? What information, Dawn, or what lessons did you learn from this that you would like to give Miss Brianna since she's not finished? What
I
did you
would say, well, it sounds crazy. It's tenacity. This could not have been a more perfect name for a pattern. No rush, just every once in a while, pick it up. I don't know if you'll have the problem I did. If I didn't pick it up for a while in between, I really had to go back to that pattern. So I saw the beauty of monogamy when Penny was knitting it, and she was in the flow. You knew that pattern. You probably had a very even gauge because you weren't picking up and putting down. I found myself it's only a 4-row repeat, but if I hadn't picked it up for a while, I had to have those instructions right in front of me. But Brianna, you're going to love it when it's done. Just give yourself the grace of it's going to grow. So I would stop short, maybe by a foot or so of where you want the end product to be, because just the design, it's going to grow in length.
Sure.
Yeah. So don't feel like you have to use all that yarn if you're happy with, or you're getting close. And the other thing, I never think about doing this, but I was talking to a gal who blocks her projects on the needles so that she knows where she's at. So she'll just put the needles and everything in the wool wash, block it all out, and then see if she's happy with it to bind off. I would never have thought about doing that, but what a brilliant idea. Even just a quick steam block would do it if you didn't want to do the wet block right away. No bleeding at all on this either, but I wasn't too worried about it. So yeah, so that is off the needles.
Woohoo is right.
All right,
Congratulations.
what else is off my needles? My monthly Celtic quilt. So in September, I started the Celtic Quilt 4. It is a monthly knit along. So on the first day of every month, we get the new pattern for the square. Brilliantly designed. It is by Impeccable Knits. It is available in written word as well as in a chart if you're interested in doing that. The squares are 16 inches by 16 inches. There'll be 9. And then we have, I assume, several months then to work on the border. And here is my November.
Ooh, Dawn.
Beautiful.
I like that.
Now, do you see where I still struggle? I'm still using a cable needle. Now, this is just a steam block, but do you see I still get these little areas of pull.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that'll change or move a little bit in a wet block, but I'm going to wait and do a wet block, right before I get ready to put it together. So I'm just steam blocking it for now. The other thing is I misread last month's. It's a 12-row border, same border on all the squares. I quit at 8 last month. Mhm.
So are you going to go back and add the
Yeah.
last row?
I will, and I'm using Encore in the light gray and medium gray. It's worsted. It's on a US 6 and 7. I gave the pattern a $2 sign and the yarn a $2 sign. Now, what I think is brilliant about this knit along, this is her 4th year. All 3 years up till now, all the squares are 16 inches. So let's say I get done with 9 squares and I wished it was a little bigger. I could either repeat some squares, or probably what I would do is look back and pick up one of those. So I have no idea again what, if these are 17 inches, of course, mine blocked 18 inches. Yeah, 18 with not, yeah, that mine will probably be plenty long the more I think about it. So
were you intentionally blocking them at 18?
Nope, I just kind of pin them till they're square. But you know what? I must pull way too hard on everything. Yeah.
Either that, Dawn, or your gauge is just larger.
I didn't do a gauge swatch for this either.
No,
All right, so that is the 3rd one. I've started the December one. Wait till you see that one. It is a beautiful, beautiful, yet another beautiful cable. And then the last thing off my needles, I started in 2019. This is my scrappy blanket. It is a corner to corner holding 2 fingering weights.
Oh, Dawn. It's crocheted. Why did I think your corner to corner was knit?
Oh, no, it is crocheted, which I am not a good crocheter, so do not look close. Some of these yarns were mine. Some of them I got in an exchange for a crazy cake, or what do they call those? Magic cake.
Magic ball. Yeah, magic cake.
You'll see like oranges and yellows in here, which I generally don't knit with, but it was kind of fun to put them in a little bit of greens too. It is
very pretty.
52 inches by 64 inches. It is heavy. I didn't have a scale that could weigh it in grams. So I stood on the scale, wrote down the weight, and then I had Steve hand me the blanket and wrote down the weight. So this weighs 4.6 pounds.
It's a weighted blanket.
And, because I didn't want to do the math, I asked Alexa what that was in conversion. She told me it was 2,080 grams. So if you figure most fingering weighs around 400 yards per 100 grams, this is 8,000 yards. Now I'm going to take this I have my physical this week. I'm going to take it and ask them if I can put it on the baby scale. Because then
That's a good idea.
I can get a metric reading then. So I may have to take some gifts to bribe them, but.
Oh, Dawn, very pretty. I like it.
It is heavy, but 8,000 yards out of stash.
Well, because share with us once again what one of your goals is this year.
So this year I've been keeping track of how much yarn I buy versus how much yarn I knit. I was doing really well for quite a while. This will help try to get those numbers. So I'll report at the end of the year.
Okay.
But, it will be, to be honest, it's going to be very close about what I bought versus what I knit. I was really hoping I knit far more than I bought, but.
Well, if you can keep up with knitting what you bought, that right there in and of itself is pretty wild.
Yeah, but if you we always talk about knitting from stash. I will have made, no progress. So that is off my needles. I need a new scrappy blanket, or I need a new scrappy project. I don't know if it needs to be a blanket again, or if it is a blanket, maybe not as big, maybe more of a throw size. I've been thinking about that pattern called Bits and Bobs by Kay Jones. Otherwise, I've seen some nice like marled shawls and things that people are doing holding fingering weight. The one color I held steady through this whole thing was Heritage Sock, gray, in a light gray. So that was the one consistent color through the whole thing. So I crocheted on a crochet hook in the size I.
Oh, okay.
I did not look what that millimeter reading was on that. So that is what is off my needles, ladies.
Woohoo. Well, I think that means now it is time to ask all of you, what are you learning? All right, Miss Brianna, do you want to start off while Aunt Dawn's getting situated?
Yes, I'm learning two things. One is
Okay.
practical, how to do an I-cord bind off. I just now learned through Google and Stephen West that when doing an I-cord bind off, you don't cast on 3 every single time for every stitch. I was like, this does not look right. But as you can see, my little baby I-cord bind off is happening.
Oh, you did that now. Very
Yeah,
good.
I was Googling it while you were talking. I was like, I'm pretty sure this is bad podcasting etiquette, but I want to know. But yes, I like it. It's thick. It's like a little caterpillar.
It is.
Yes. Bravo, young lady.
Okay, so that's what I'm learning. Go ahead.
Some of his patterns, you do an I-cord cast on.
Oh,
As you go back and forth each row, you do the kind of, you're doing an applied I-tube border. Some of it, it's I-cord border as you go. The more of his patterns that you, so I like both ways.
is the Andrea Mari shift cowl the same way along that one side?
I can't remember. I wouldn't be surprised. It's a beautiful border. I wouldn't be surprised it's an I-cord. We'd have to go back and look at the pattern, but.
Yeah, because this seems vaguely familiar and the way it feels seems familiar. So
Okay.
I think that's the way it was on that shift cowl that I started and frogged. Because I was 20 stitches off.
Just a few stitches. Come on.
Yes. So I'm learning about I-cord bind off. And I feel like I'm learning, I think I say this every single time I'm here because I'm not here very often, but I feel like I'm learning that knitting really is what you make it. And it's different for you in different seasons. Because I really don't have a lot of time to knit, but Christmas is coming. And for me, knitting is a way of gifting as well as just a hobby. And so I feel like I'm also learning that it's not just one thing. And I think Aunt Penny's demonstrated that with her experiments with monogamy and all these things. It can be monogamous. It can be all the time. It can be, patchwork, like we talked about that one time. For me, it's gifting and it's a hobby. And it's not all the time, but I do enjoy it. It's a lot of things.
Absolutely. I think maybe many of us can resonate with that or do resonate with it. And it's different for every person, right? Which is the beauty of having all those dimensions when we get together for our knit-ins or our virtual knit-togethers. We see it expressed in a wide variety of ways.
Right. Yep, that was very good.
Very nice, Miss Brianna. Well, Dawn, what are you knitting or learning?
I've learned that I've always wanted to be a cheerleader. All right, visually don't go there, right? But I guess what I was thinking about the last couple of weeks when we do our virtuals or when I do the Tuesday night Zooms or even get together with the different groups of knitting ladies, there are people, other knitters, who keep cheering us on irregardless of what we're knitting. I thought of Tenacity. People have encouraged us since January to keep going. They like the updates. Now they're not knitting it with us and they don't have to, but they can be our cheerleaders. So there's something about sharing the joy of what other people are doing as you watch them on their journey. It works for many aspects of life, right? But to think that, I forget who I was chatting with, I think it was Miss Angela. She had posted one of her Stephen West updates in the shawlography, and somebody else in our group was like, that is beautiful, keep going, you're doing great work. And I think Angela might have said, are you doing it too? And she said, nope, I just want to be your cheerleader. You know what I mean? That is, where else in life can you get that kind of support with a hobby that you love? I'm hoping it's everywhere. So instead of focusing on things that aren't positive, I want to focus on the joy that we can share with other knitters just by supporting whatever it is they're working on. It doesn't matter to me, the project, it doesn't matter to me, the yarn, it doesn't matter to me how fast or slow you're knitting it. You're doing what you love. And that is the joy, I think, for this, at least for this season, that I think about sharing with others.
That's profound. And I hear it kind of like a battle cry for all of us, Dawn. I think you're encouraging us to be supporters of everyone.
Yeah.
Rather than critiquers, rather than criticizers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really profound.
Spread the joy.
Absolutely. Life's too short to be negative.
I would break out into song, but
oh, well, I'm going to break out into song.
Are you? Let's do it.
Well, it's because it's related to what I'm learning. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes, when she comes. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes, when she comes. That's what I'm learning. Because I want to know how many times that woman went around the mountain. How many times did it take her to learn what she had to learn? And that's what I learned knitting this cardigan for Miss Everly. And this is what's off my needles. My first Arctic Coast cardigan is complete. Well, of course, you all know that I don't tuck until after I block. But I wanted to get it done so I could get on to my next project, which is her sister's cardigan. And I had to wait to try it on. So over Thanksgiving, when we were all together, I put it on her to see if it fit. And I learned that there were a few moments in there where I had nothing to knit. And I got feeling a little bit antsy. And I reminded myself, Penny, you've been here before. It's worth the wait. Let's see if we have, because I wanted to see if my gauge was going to work for the other two girls' sweaters because theirs are larger. And I'm happy to say that I made it around the mountain. Now, I'm sure it's not going to be the last time I have to go around the mountain, but it was definitely worth the wait.
Can you show that color sequence a little closer to the screen?
Yeah.
Look at that.
So this is how the pattern is written. And again, this is in the Berroco Ultra Wool DK, and it's still in that black pepper gray. And then it has the pink and the green. I can't remember their names. They're in my show notes. And that worked very well with these colors. However, it would not have been a good choice for the others. And one thing I did differently on this is I left it a cardigan. It is written so that you can button it, but children and buttons can become frustrating. And they like to just throw off their sweaters if they get hot. And I wanted them to be able to just take them off. So
could you text her mama and see if I can include that picture of her wearing it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure that we have permission, but that would be fun because you could just see the joy in her face when she tried it on.
Oh, and she's so tiny. She doesn't even know that I knit it for her. I think she thought it was a gift that I should have left with her, but no, I took it back. Oh yeah. She didn't get to keep it yet because it's going to go in their Christmas box, but so like you, Miss Brianna, knitting is a way for me to give.
Yeah.
And I only have a few short days to finish this sweater and knit the other sweater, the larger one. So it may be Happy Easter with Christmas tree ornaments.
That's awesome.
Oh man.
Well, listen, if you don't mind, ladies, I'm going to move right into what's happening at Frivolous and Frugal. Sure. And we want to keep all of our viewers abreast of what's going on. As you know, we're still working toward 3,000 subscribers. When that happens, we will have another large giveaway. In the meantime, as promised, during episode 74, we have a winner in our YouTube dialogue and discussion thread. And the question was, Which do you prefer, written patterns or charted patterns? And it is our delight to say that the random number generator selected Chicken Lady Fiber Arts. Miss Lynn, congratulations. You were our winner. And your response to the question was that you love a well-written pattern, but if you are knitting from a chart, you tend to lose your place. And I would say that's pretty common for many of us, which is why there were wonderful suggestions for how to keep your place on your charts in that thread. So if you have time, peruse it. Things such as highlighter tape, magnetic strips, acetate paper. So please take a look at that if you need some suggestions for working with charts. So Miss Lynn, you have won a pattern of your choice not to exceed $10 from Ravelry. Would you please message your choice to Dawn and she'll make sure you get that. So thanks so much for those of you who participated. And our next YouTube drawing will be during episode 78. We have a couple of cows going on, so let me give you the update. The Finish, Fix, Flip, or Frog It cow will have a giveaway during episode 76. So keep posting your pictures, your progress, and as Dawn said, keep cheering for those around you who are doing some things for the very first time, such as frogging or trying to create something different than what they originally intended. We also have some announcements for our December hat cow and our December ornament cow. During our next episode, we will have the winners from the month of November for those cows. But in the meantime, we are working on this month, the Cerce Hat by Chit Chat Knits. And that will be December's hat. And I will put that in our Ravelry notes soon. Also, our December ornament pattern for the month is Stocking Stuffer by Kristine Burns. So please take a look at those patterns if you're interested. And as again, I mentioned earlier, we'll have our winners in our next episode. The My Dear Stephen West cow continues to go. I have a hunch it's probably going to be one of our ongoing cows because after all, he is Dawn's Dear Stephen West. And we will choose a winner for that. I'm guessing, Dawn, don't you think we'll have a monthly winner when we do our other drawings? Okay. Also, we still have, I shouldn't say we, Dawn hosts a weekly Zoom knit together, virtual knit together every Tuesday evening from 6 to 8 Central Time. That link is posted in our show notes. Feel free to join. It's very informal as compared to our other virtual knit events. And we encourage you to come with an open mind and teachable heart because so much is discussed and learned during that time together. Wouldn't you say, Dawn?
Right. And if I remember, I do post all the designers, patterns, bag makers that we talk about during each session. I don't know if I did this week's, but you'll find it on the discussion board. So if you're just kind of snooping around looking for some patterns, we do a lot of dream knitting. And maybe some purchasing.
Don't feel obligated to purchase.
Not at all.
Says the Frugal Fiber member here. We will be having another event, a little bit different than in the past. We threw it out during our last episode, received feedback from our viewers. And since our monthly virtual knit together in the morning will be on Christmas Day, we have decided to have a New Year's Day virtual knit together. If you're interested, we will be on Zoom from 1 to 3 Central Time, January 1st, just if you have a tradition for casting something on for the first of the year. It will also be a place where we will share one, maybe two of our 2022 knitting goals. As always, it is 2 hours of nothing but knitting talk. I'm talking about inspiration, ideas. People share what's on and off their needles. Very, very encouraging time. So if you're interested, look for that thread. It will be on Ravelry with the Zoom link. If you're not on Ravelry, email me and I'll email you the Zoom link about an hour before we start in case we have any technical difficulties. And then, yeah,
Oh, can I talk about what some of us are going to cast on?
absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Penny and I started a tradition just between us a few years ago about casting something on Christmas Eve. So this is the cowl we're going to cast on Christmas Eve. If you would like to join us, or really cast on anything, we'll put the link up. This is called the Mallow cowl, and it is knit. I think the company name is Life is Cozy. That is a worsted weight cowl, and those are not real cables. Those are faux cables. And she's got beautiful charts if you're a chart knitter. And then on New Year's Day, some of us are going to cast on another Stephen West. So this is Dustland. This is a crescent shape. Can you believe Stephen West did a one color shawl? That is all texture stitches. This picture is not doing it justice. Again, we don't care what you cast on or just sit and knit with us, but I'll probably start, once those start, I'll probably start a discussion board in Ravelry for anybody who's knitting along with those.
Very good. I'm glad you remembered. Someone may not have written that down. Okay, anyway, moving on, lest she be found guilty right before your very eyes. The next thing is our January virtual knit together, our daytime virtual knit together. And right now, that's going to be that Saturday, January 1st. And then we'll announce in our next episode if we're going to have a virtual knit night. Should be the second Saturday of the month, but we haven't confirmed that. So we'll get back to you on that. That's all I have for events, ladies. Did I overlook or miss anything?
I don't think so. That's what I have written down. So
yeah. Okay. All right. So we do have a couple honorable mentions. And I have to tell you that the three of us are often humbled by the kindness and the thoughtfulness of our viewers and our fiber family. And we were humbled just a couple of weeks ago when Miss Sandy brought Dawn special bags for each of us. She made project bags. I'm going to say just good old knitting bags with also with a little accoutrement bags. So Dawn, would you like to share yours and then I'll share mine?
sure.
You have Miss Brianna's too.
She knew I was a paramedic instructor, right? So look at this.
Look at that.
Well, this is a huge bag, isn't it? I love these pockets. And then the inside, it's little stethoscopes.
Oh my goodness.
And then she puts a big drawstring in that one with the same fabric.
How
I love drawstrings because they're my fabric. And her kind of what do you call it? Her little trademark, if you will, is when she puts these zipper pockets on the inside, there's a sleeve behind it. And I really like that. So thank you, Miss Sandy, that you overdid it again. So we appreciate it.
absolutely.
We love.
Would you like to show her Miss Brianna's?
Yep. And the one that Brianna picked was this one. So with this little design, and that's a denim. That is a really nice kind of canvas denim. It too is a drawstring. And look at that pocket. Isn't that cute? And that design. So I will bring that, Brianna, when we come for Christmas.
Perfect.
And her attentiveness to what we do is amazing. Miss Sandy, thank you so much for the honey and the bee bag. Very cute.
That is perfect.
It is. And like you, Dawn, love the pockets. I like that inside pocket with a sleeve and a zipper. And my inside is the combs of honey, like the cells of a honeycomb.
Oh, get out.
Yeah. And I am really trying to be much better about enjoying these fancy foo-foo bags. So thank you, Miss Sandy, for helping me with that and for the wonderful zip bag. I can't thank you enough. So we are very grateful and humbled by that. I am also grateful and humbled by someone whom I don't even know. I was given an anonymous gift through Knick Knack Knits, and I'm sure you've all heard us talk about Miss Nikki from the Knick Knack Knits podcast. And this was one of her winter, or I think it was a winter kit.
Yeah.
And as you can see, the bags are just gorgeous. It's a drawstring bag. And inside of it was an indie dyed skein of yarn, which is from LMK Designs. And that is Miss Nikki's partner in the business. And I don't know if it was intentional or not, but blue is my favorite color. It was perfect. Thank you, ladies. And in addition to that, not only did I get a nice little candy cane, but a cute little one skein snap yarn bag and some accoutrements that I look forward to using, and the tea bags I look forward to drinking. So thank you to Miss Nikki for really handling this gift, and whomever gave that to me, I just want to thank you. I'm humbled by that, and I'm gracious. And if I knew who you were, I'd give you a hug around the neck and a handwritten card. But please just know that I'm grateful. And Dawn, did you have any other honorable mentions?
No, I just, that kit that Nikki put together and Lisa was amazing. And like, there's a hand stamped card in there.
Yes.
Their attention to detail is impeccable. I don't know if they have any more of those kits left, but maybe if I remember, I'll put the website up. So
that would be good, because I would agree, for a kit, there was attention to detail. That's a great way to describe it.
And that gnome on the front of that bag is so stinking cute.
It is, isn't he?
Look at him. Oh, gnomes are
very cute. Ladies, you outdid yourself.
Yeah, very much so.
Well, it's that time. And I know you've all been waiting for bated breath to hear just what our dear faithful sister Nikki said. And this is what she has chosen to encourage you during this episode. She would say, please yourself first, and then pass that on to those who might need a little help. And, you know, I think you ladies both kind of alluded to that in what you've learned. You have to do what pleases yourself, and in so doing, then you can pass it on to others. So Miss Brianna, your way of knitting as gifts is sharing with others, and Dawn, your desire to encourage others in their journey is your way of passing on the delight that you find. So you embody that quote, ladies. And on that note, it is time. Our time for this episode has come to an end, and we hope that your week, your month, until whenever we do this again, is filled with a sweet twist of the frivolous and frugal. Have a wonderful week, and we hope to chat with you again soon. All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye.